Hello everybody, welcome back to the Nibiru channel. It is February 11th, 2017, state of emergency for California and Nevada. The weather situation is getting very, very dangerous for several states in the Midwest and the West Coast of the United States. As you can currently see right now, California is getting battered by a storm system that is and will eventually travel directly across the northern tier of the United States from the west all the way to the east. Now, this has been occurring for several days now, and the situation in California is very dire. We're going to take a look at the first news report. It basically says sacrificing California spillway may avoid emergency releases. And folks, this is coming out of Oroville, California. They have a very, very serious dam situation that is about to break. Now, there is, as they say, deteriorating concrete in one of the spillways that protects the Oroville Dam. Now, what I wanted to show you is where this area is located. And we're just going to go ahead and zoom straight in here to Oroville. And I'm going to show you how dangerous this situation is. Now, this is the Oroville Dam right here. There's a small spillway overflow here, but you can see how large this reservoir of water is. And it actually stretches out into small tributaries, waterways that lead directly into this dammed area of water. But moving down to the community of Oroville, there are tens of thousands of people that live in the underlying community. Now, this is a very intricate pattern of dams and spillways that travel all the way down. And you can see if anything happens to this dam and this spillway, this will be absolutely catastrophic. There will be no emergency warning if anything happens that this dam is breached or completely destroyed. I believe the amount of water, the last I heard was 70,000 cubic yards of water would literally wash down into this small area and literally just wipe it out. Now, not only is this occurring in the state of California, now I have friends that live all around this area and in the Sacramento area, and they're very scared. They're very scared of this situation. Now, I've been informing people for weeks and weeks about these strange weather patterns, and they're going to keep on occurring because our Earth has at least a 4 or 5 degree additional tilt, which is causing our jet stream to sink lower, and this is producing all of this crazy weather that we're having all over the world, folks. If you pay attention to what you see on the news or on the internet or even in your local newspapers, if they're reporting on this information, you can clearly see that weather patterns are absolutely out of control. I live in the Northeast. The other day it was 62 degrees, and then later on that evening we had a snowstorm and it dropped 7 inches of snow on the area, heavy snow and ice, creating landslides onto roadways, fallen trees, a very, very serious situation. And then the temperature dropped to 17 degrees. And then now today, we are going straight back up to 55 degrees, which will probably cause some very intense flooding in my area. But we'll take a few quick looks at the pictures. You can see 2 workers, emergency workers, I assume, standing there. They're looking at one of the spillways. You can see the power of this water pouring over this spillway. And again, folks, this is a very, very dangerous situation for anyone who lives in this area. We're going to keep an eye on the situation as much as possible, but the bottom line is, I believe that this government in the town of Oroville, I believe they dropped the ball. There is a massive hole in the top of, I believe, one of these spillways. And they're just telling the people basically that there's nothing to worry about. There's no problem. Don't worry about it. Well, I think when you have a situation like this, you should be worried about it. If that was me and I was living in that area, I would not stay anywhere near any of those communities at the base of that dam and those spillways. The potential for disaster is there. It's staring these folks straight in the face. So we are going to keep our eyes on what is happening in the Oroville area of California. And there are many other communities in Central California that are on flood alert, flood watch. Spoke to a few friends that I have in the Central California area, and they told me straight out that the situation is very dire. They're very scared, and there should be a state of emergency. Now, not only is California having this issue, but also the state of Nevada. The front headline on Fox 13, Nevada governor declares state of emergency for Elko County amid flooding. I mean, if you take a look at this photograph right here, I mean, this literally looks like a lake. This looks like a lake. And flooding in Nevada, I don't know. I've never heard of flooding in Nevada. However, it is occurring. It's a fact. I'm going to go back and take a look at the weather model. And you could see there are huge, huge amounts of storms just flowing directly into Central California, all the way down to the border of Mexico, which would include Los Angeles and San Diego. Now, everyone knows that they were under a very serious drought for a very long time. Well, that drought is over. And they took care of this drought just in a matter of, what, maybe a week? This has been occurring in the state of California now for the last several weeks. The ground is completely saturated. They have landslides, they have sinkholes, and now the flooding. And what we're keeping our eye on is the earthquake activity in California, because right now, as this ground is saturated, any earthquake, I would have to say over a magnitude 4 or 5, would create a devastating situation out in California. So folks, stay tuned to the Nibiru channel. We're going to have updates on this and many other stories occurring around the world. So stay tuned. Thank you for watching.